The Pumpkin Eater, A Woman Inside the Shell. It begins with a woman, Jo Armitage, standing in the middle of her own life as if she were a visitor there. The house hums with the sounds of children, laughter, crying, the slam of doors, the soft thud of small feet. She moves among them gently, like a ghost wrapped in an apron. She knows the rhythm of the household by heart, bottles to warm, shoes to tie, tears to wipe. But somewhere inside she feels a hollowness growing, a space that no amount of mothering can fill. Jo has always been told she is blessed, a beautiful home, a talented husband, a house full of children. People envy her. They see the life she has built and call it complete. But Jo knows something they do not. A perfect home can also be a prison if love grows cold within its walls. Her husband, Jake, is a man the world admires. Charming, clever, full of talk about art and life. He writes screenplays that sparkle with wit and emotion. Women are drawn to him, and Jake, for all his promises, is drawn to them too. Jo senses it before she knows it. There's a look in his eyes that has shifted, a distance in his voice that wasn't there before. When the truth finally reaches her that he's been unfaithful, she doesn't scream. She doesn't throw things or demand explanations. She grows quieter. It's the silence of someone whose heart has been touched by fire too many times. Days pass, then weeks. Jo keeps tending the children, folding the laundry, and setting the table, but her mind drifts. Sometimes she catches her reflection in a mirror and hardly recognizes the woman looking back, pale, tired, uncertain. There's a moment in a beauty salon surrounded by the whirring of hair dryers when Jo suddenly feels she's disappearing, piece by piece, into the background of her own life. Jake tries at times to be kind. He speaks softly, takes her hand, and even promises change. But his tenderness never lasts. His love, like his words, fades when tested. And yet, Jo cannot leave him, not because she's weak, but because her whole identity has been built around the act of staying faithful, staying needed, staying whole. The title of her story comes from a nursery rhyme her children once sang. Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. Put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well. Jake is her Peter. The pumpkin shell is her home, warm, safe, and confining. He keeps her there, surrounded by children, dependent, loved in name but not in truth. And Jo, out of habit and hope, stays inside that shell until she can no longer breathe. There's a scene, quiet but unforgettable, when she finally breaks down. She sits alone, tears running silently as she whispers questions no one can answer. Who am I when no one needs me? What remains when love fades? She visits a doctor. She speaks to friends. But what she really seeks is not help. It's understanding. She wants someone to see her, the woman beneath the mother, the soul beneath the duties. But society in her time has no language for that. A woman's sadness is seen as weakness. Her longing for freedom is called madness. Jake, meanwhile, continues his cycle, repentance followed by betrayal, confession followed by retreat. He doesn't mean to be cruel. He doesn't know how to love without breaking what he loves. By the end, Jo hasn't escaped. She's still in the pumpkin shell, still caring for her children, still surrounded by the quiet hum of domestic life. But something in her gaze has changed. She's no longer lost, just aware. Aware of what she has given, what she has lost, and what she must now guard within herself. The film closes not with a resolution, but with a truth that some prisons are built not from walls, but from expectations, not by others, but by ourselves. The Pumpkin Eater is not the story of rebellion, it's the story of awakening. It's about a woman who learns, too late perhaps, that love without respect can hollow the heart, and that motherhood, though sacred, cannot replace identity. In the end, Jo Armitage is every woman who ever looked around a well-ordered life and quietly asked, "Where did I go?"